Greetings, humans. Zelos here, and welcome to What's the Deal with Gaming on Linux? I am Zelos, your digital daemon of Discord, and we're diving into the world of Linux gaming, from Proton quirks to native ports. I'm here to discover if it's a masterpiece or vaporware to be derez into buggy oblivion. Today, we're looking at White Knuckle, a vertical horror climbing game. Currently running it on Proton Experimental, and let's take a look, shall we? So the first thing you're going to realize is that, there's different modes in here, right? But let's take a look at the settings. The graphics, we got different things. We got like a CRT type effect. We got dithering. We got a vertex jitter. You can set resolutions. Now mine currently tops out at, 1080p, but that's just limits of my hardware because my monitor won't go any higher. Sure, it goes higher than that. Audio sliders, VSync on and off, brightness, FOV slider, always nice. Different voices. You can background the subtitles. The announcer has subtitles. You got control settings. You can invert the y-axis, adjust sensitivity. There's controller options. You can toggle the inventory, crouch, always sprint, all sorts of stuff. Different fully rebindable keys, both controller and keyboard. And as you can see, we can adjust the UI, the icons for the hands, crosshairs, adjust the visuals, and even erase the saves. So, without further ado, let's have a look. So what is White Knuckle? White Knuckle is a horror climbing game by a developer called Dark Machine Games and published by Dread XP. Has an overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It is effectively a climbing parkour horror game where your goal is to get to the top of this vault or silo where, for whatever reason, you're deep underground and it's a very vertical structure. So the horror is in the climb itself as well as, playing the game. You get a variety of tools like this one here, which you can throw, kind of like a javelin, to make a handhold somewhere. And that's the whole point, making sure you have handholds to get around. Because as you can see, the whole point of the game is to climb up. Yeah. And escape a climbing wall of water. So as you can see here, for example, there's no obvious way up. Got a couple ways you can go about it. You can, of course, do this, which, comes in handy. And switch to the hammer and give yourself a way up, right? But there are limits, too. And if you run out of stamina, what ends up happening is you fall. In this case, falling is very, very lethal. So, best to avoid it. The game is currently at an early access, the game is currently in early access, and it's been already covered, somewhat by various people, such as Markiplier and his spectacular Let's Play of it. And of course, this is the part you want to escape. Because that stuff is very bad. It's some sort of goop type stuff. It's basically you drown in it. I want to call it sludge.
Notice. Training chamber 22. Climbing apparatus has been decommissioned. Use of equipment is strictly prohibited.
Now you'll find you can have very narrow handholds. And situations like this, where the climbable bars and everything else makes sense. So for example, you throw that. Now you can kind of make your way across. Whereas before, as you saw, I just sort of fell to almost my death. Once again, just kind of make your way out. And make sure to hold on to these. You'll find variations too. For example, there's one of those that actually is more of a rope than anything else. And what it does is it sort of lets you, okay, so we got through there. Ooh, candy bar. The rope sort of lets you swing, which gives you the ability to get through an area. I have no clue how to get through this door, however. It's okay. Because I can just sort of move along here, like so. Get over to this platform. So I can actually get over to here. This is sort of the goal, is to keep moving. Get into secret areas like this, which in this case doesn't hold anything, but you kind of get the idea, right? Is there maybe a way around on the other side? Maybe. I don't think so. Ah! So here's an example of one of those rope ones. You throw it, it'll drop a rope down, which, as you can imagine, is very, very useful. And there are multiple ways to get to the top. Multiple exits, right? So like right now I'm taking the outside, because in theory it should be easier. But you could also go up the middle there. Sort of personal preference. Whichever one looks better to you.
Attention. Structural integrity at 63%. Collapsing substructures may cause unexpected hazards.
Okay. Well, in this case, we're going to need to swing across, so... Oh! Yeah! Okay. Keep going. Ah. Whoops. Now, there is an inventory limit, although I'm not sure what it is yet. These cans of food, well, they reset your stamina bar. And these, oddly enough, are basically... Ah, see, we're nearing the edge of our inventory. So you can do more than just climb, you can also sort of leap up. As you can see, you'll find pathways upwards. I've got enough stuff, I don't need to worry about that right now. What was that? What's that sound? I don't mean the really obvious death machine. Okay. Up. Oh boy, that could have been bad. Really, really bad. Come on, up we go. Ah. Oh, we might as well go up this way then, huh? I'm around and over, and we're up here. Whoop. And got it. Okay. Woohoo! Whoa, boy. I got crushed by the door. That's a first. Yeah, tip, don't panic. Seems about right. So, what can I say about the game? Well, it's extensive. I've noticed an issue. I don't know if it's still there since they've updated it, but I've noticed this thing where for some reason, the, where there's some sort of lag thing going on after about an hour or so in. I can't tell you exactly why, but it's really rather interesting how that happens. And I haven't seen it since. I'm gonna need more time to see if I can capture footage of it. It may have been fixed in the latest version of Proton or with the game itself, I'm not sure. But I will say that overall it runs really well, and I would highly recommend this game. So what are my thoughts on the game? Well, I'd say, it's still early access, so expect a few bugs, but it's fairly polished for what it is. More importantly, it appears to be fairly stable, which is, important, right? And I would say it's about an 8.5 out of 10, if only because it needs a little more work. As given, it is an early access game. You can run it in Proton pretty stably, and you can find it on the Steam page for, let's see, well, you can try out the demo, of course, and you can find it on Steam right now for $12.99. So if you got $13 to spend, I say go for it. It's a good way to kind of pass the time, and yeah, go for it. Have some fun. This is The Lost, signing off.